Right, I think I'm live now. Let's find out. Oh wow, that is bad audio. Why is it so noisy? Oh, it is the microphone. Okay, it's just me being terrible. Okay. Well, hello. Good morning? No. Well, it shouldn't be for anyone. Well, maybe. Okay. Good whatever time it is for you right now. Currently, it is 11 p.m. for me. Hope you have had a lovely day. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Thanks for all coming. Thanks for all just arriving on time. I'll leave this up for a bit after I'm done, just to be like, leave it as like an educational tool almost. I'm just gonna check my audio real quick again. Sweet, the noise has come down because I just have to speak up. I probably should also replace. Hello, look at all these people in. Hello. So, firstly, I just wanted to do this kind of stream for one reason, really, is because for like years now, most of the music that I produced, is under lock and key, under protection of publishing rights, and so I can't show any of it publicly. Otherwise, I lose, potential offers in terms of buying it. So I wasn't able to share any of my process. I wasn't able to share any of my information that I wanted to. I wasn't able to share any of my music. Full stop. But now this lovely vocals of the community has welcomed me with open arms. Again, I thought, you know what? Let's try and make this process a little bit more public, because it can be, because I'm not held back by exclusivity deals or NDAs or etc. So you get to have all the fancy stuff. And this is a song that I started actually either yesterday or Friday. I just had this idea of doing a 6-part Krypton Lloyd song, which kind of just goes all out. Something that, has everyone, but kind of in equal measurement. It's a nice either intro or an outro song to a Miku Expo is what I'm imagining with it. Maybe you'll hear it as well. At the moment, it's still early days, as I said. I only started it a couple of days ago. And so, yeah, I've got most of the instrumental down. I've got the structure down just about. You can see on the screen the general structure of things, and I'll play it in just a second. But yeah, I just kind of wanted a fun, concerty vibe with it. Bit of hype, a bit of action, a bit of clapping along and cheering and doing all the various light stick movements that I can't do because despite being a musician, my timing with my movements isn't so great. So I just make myself look like an absolute plonker. Anyway, let's listen to some of it so far, just so you know what the vibe is. And I'll talk you through some stuff, how it started, how I got here, do some production stuff on the side as well. See how it lasts. I probably won't be longer than an hour on this, because eventually I'll run out of things to talk about. Anyway, let's give a listen and tell me if you can hear it or not. This will all make sense when I explain what bit is what, and also this goes on for way too long, so I'm just going to skip it. Yeah, and then the choruses are the bits that are the least developed at the moment because weirdly I'm better with verses um than I am with choruses. But anyway, hello everyone that's joined in. Hello Shiro and other the names that I can't pronounce without looking like an idiot. Thank you for all liking it so far. Again, still early days, and hopefully this helps. I don't know. Demystify the process, because when you listen to a song that made by like a very very well-known producer and you hear it in the final stages, you're like, oh my god, how did that sounds amazing. I can't replicate that, no way. But if you get moments where you just show it in its very work in progress stages, it demystifies and takes the magic out of it almost, but not like in a way that's problematic. I don't think it helps makes things look a little bit more realistic. And see where ideas come from. So yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this on a Sunday night, like I've not got a busy week ahead of me, but here I am. So how did this idea start? The idea started from actually the chorus line that I had in mind, which is down here, muted because it's literally me mumbling into a microphone, just singing the melody with no lyrics whatsoever. Just to help me, get it down onto digital paper so I don't forget it later. I am glad you guys are liking it. I want it to be an educational process because, again, I'd have killed someone like me in this position now when I started off producing. So yeah, it started with the vocal melody, and I thought, let's build on that, let's see what happens. Then the vocal melody for chorus B came along, and then I knew how I wanted to start it. I wanted to start it with a nice ARP, so I just started it with a nice ARP. I'm going to go onto 3 different things when it comes to my music production and how to either streamline it or demystify it again, or help help clear the noise and get a clear path. Just give me 1 second. So yeah, 3 principles that I have in music production, and it's also very good very good information if you want to be an environmentalist. Is reduce, reuse, and recycle. So reduce is something that I certainly have an issue with quite a lot, because what that means in this context is reduce just the amount of different things that are going on. Layering is fine, which I do a lot, and it takes a lot of balancing out. But if you have a lot of things going on at once, it gets all cluttered, and then you don't know what your brain wants to concentrate on. I think there's a whole thing going on in the conversation during this. Oh, it's great. I love it. But yeah, reduce just the amount of stuff that's going on. When you listen to songs in the charts, you think the production is quite empty because they're getting a lot out of a little. And so when you pile in a lot, it kind of like brings down the effectiveness of everything, so it kind of just becomes a jumbled mess. That was one of the things I struggled with the most, and still do, when I started out, so it's definitely good to mention at this stage. The second one is reuse. And now I could either use... Yeah, I'll do reuse for this one. So this ARP is something that I created for a different song, which is locked away under... and I threw away the key, so I can't show it out, but I can use different elements from it. Both this ARP, this crushed piano, were ideas from that. This kind of nice paddy sound for the first chorus. That sound design idea came from something else. There'll be more layers here to make it sound a little bit more magical and spacey. So a bunch of stuff kind of left over from other things, but can be used in other songs. I know it sucks that things are locked away, but but I've had things locked away for years now, and really started missing showing off, cool new production stuff. Because I used to do a bunch of features and vocal lines and top lines and all that stuff, which is all well and good, but my true passion is to writing earworm bangers and making you put the song on loop no matter what, no matter how much you want to get out of your head. You're welcome, and I'm sorry. Okay, let's listen to this. Just a lovely little effect. This is isolated on its own with no effects. Okay. So first I'm going to... Best tip out of everything. If it's not a bass or a kick or something that is low, drop everything out from the lows to make sure it's not muddy. Check the mix before and check the mix after to make sure that's actually what you want to do. But if you dip everything out from the lows and mids when it's, for example, this ARP. Oh yeah, it's not doing anything at the moment. Okay. It's not doing much here, but there is still things that will be coming through, so very slightly. And then this is an effect that I did on a crystallizer. You'll see a bunch of plugins. Ask questions about plugins. What's my favorite one, etc. Go crazy about that because I've got way too many. So I had this effect on crystallizer in the previous song that I did for this. The Locked Away song, which I'll keep referring to. It's the Locked Away song. And it had this lovely effect where it's 1 octave lower and half the speed in one ear, and then 1 octave higher and twice the speed in the other ear. So it gets this lovely effect. It's also in reverse, so it kind of like... Ooh. I just did an arm movement that I'm very glad that you didn't see because... and I've lost all of my cool points. Just imagine someone doing like a slow wave with their wrists and hands. Okay. So I thought, that's quite nice. But it sounds a little bit too ringy in the ears. It's a bit distracting in the right ear because all the really high frequencies are powering through. So I just slammed on this neutron to make it a nice bandpass within this age of this area of the frequencies. So then it kind of adds this nice muted sound to it, which is kind of what you want. At least for the intro, because, as you'll hear from the rest of the intro, everything else is relatively muted as well. Really puts the emphasis on the fundamental notes. And then we get into this. Another way to do a nice little bit of ear candy is what I've realised, is adding just subtle pads in the background. I use cinematic pads all the damn time because I like making a lot of cinematic music, so it's very useful. Just something so subtle in the background that you don't notice it until the 50th listen, and you're like, oh, that's fun. Just about to hear it, can't you? And then you go your typical second half of verse 1 clicks on the 2 and 4s. Bit of fun, bit of intrigue. Keeps everyone moving, and then a little bit of a heartbeat kick to again pick up the pace to show where it's going. And then it will lead into this pre-chorus. What was I going to say? I didn't do recycle, did I? I just got distracted. Don't expect them to be any organization in any of this. This is just me splurging out. I've been working on this song for way too long. I need to tell someone about it. I need someone else to suffer the pain of going through this and being like, oh, that doesn't quite work. Oh, this thing. Anyway, recycling. So as you can see, the pre-chorus and this bridge have the same chord structure. I was originally going to use the chord structure from this lovely sample from Fritz. If you listen here. very much, even though it's a muted piano, the groove of it and the chords of it really fit in with the song. And I thought, oh, let's give that a go. I tried it out, didn't quite work. So I thought, and then it would be like the third chord structure of this song? No, fourth chord structure of the song. And I was thinking, that might get us a bit too complicated. But I really, really loved the... Ooh, yeah. So I stole that. Sorry, Fritz. And decided to put it in something that's a little bit more appropriate to the vibe of the song. And just let me really quickly find what this was. It was a sample from... It's not a sample. It's a preset from Slice that I kind of messed around with a bit. Let's see what it's got on there. Oh yeah, going through... Oh my god. This is so... It's taken up so much CPU power to do very little. Oh, that's my projects in a nutshell, that is. So it's going through this lovely little bit of processing, usually used for guitars, but you can use it for synths and everything, which I've used the guitar rig on so many different things, like vocals. I used it on a synth chord to make it sound like a guitar in the mix. It's great. Ooh. Don't know what that's about. Let's have a look. So yeah, again, cut off the lows and mids, the lows and the mid lows. Basically, if you do a high pass filter around about 100, that kind of covers it. High pass filters around 100 is also what you typically use within the live industry on microphones, because it just takes out all the rumble of handling the microphone, you know, the distracting things. But that's just a fact from my profession. Absolutely useless here. So let's give this a listen now. You'll never hear a song of mine that has normal chord progression. It always steals chords from other keys. This is the most normal chord progression I've gotten. It's still dissonant. But I just love that, because it's like you know, you guide along a journey, and you know, you get this excitement, but you don't know what it is, and it's a completely different chord, and it's like, oh, got a question. Do you approach projects with lyrics in mind, or does that step tend to come after you've fleshed out the instrumental? The short answer is it depends. The long answer is, what usually happens for me is I get a melody stuck in my head, or I get like a lyric stuck in my head. For this case, it was universe, universal, universal love, which goes, well, it will go now in the bridge, but also the last chorus. If you the universe, universal, universal love. There you go. So I just got that stuck in my head, and I was like, I need to write that down. I need to do a voice note or something. I need to get it into a project or something or other. It's a great tip if you ever come up with ideas that way. Just sing it into a voice note, either like in a quiet, private place, and no one thinks you're crazy, and then boom, you don't forget it. I still remember. This is a fun story. I still remember waking up at 6 a.m. And I had an idea in my head for the riff in verse 1 of Plaything. I remember picking up my phone, putting on the voice recorder, going pressing stop, and then immediately going back to sleep. Then I woke up, listened to it, I was like, okay, that's not too bad. Good job, sleep deprived Mizu. Is it, you know, you don't, yeah, I think that's one of the things about music production, is that everyone has their own process of things. And, you know, when I'm in songwriting camps with a bunch of cool people, you know, cool songwriters, they've got their phones out, and we've got the instrumental on loop, and they're just singing melody ideas into their phone, whatever comes up. Because as soon as you've got it, you realize you've got it, and then you forget it. unless you have it recorded. So it's preemptive almost. Anyway, so yeah, often my ideas start off with the hook usually, or something like that. Sometimes I'm inspired by a loop or a sample or something like that. Quite often when I write songs, I have reference tracks that I add onto it, rather than looking at reference tracks then creating the song. So it's I lost my train of thought. That's so bad. So yeah, I kind of started and thinking, okay, I kind of wanted it to sound like this with elements from this and maybe a structure like this. For a song that I also can't talk about, let's call it Secret Song. The Secret Song, I have a list of songs I want to take elements from, because this is how it works within the industry. Briefs have references, and sometimes they're very, very generic, and sometimes they don't have briefs at all, just like, send me whatever. Or you get like a specific, I want the hook idea from this, I want the vibe from this, I want the vocal styles from this. And it's either very vague or very specific. But it helps me concentrate on what I want to achieve from the song. The feelings. Ask questions all you want. Don't worry, I'm derailing things by forgetting things. It's my it's my bad. Any question is, there's no stupid questions here because there's so many things. Good night, Shiro. Catch you later. I might do these a little bit earlier if it benefits the Europeans more, including myself. That means I actually go to bed at a normal time. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what I had for quite a lot of the references for this song are things that I've already released. The secret songs, the private songs, the ones that are locked in away or lock a key. They're a lot of the references, and the vibe that I'm going for. You hear it. Maybe a bit of like a KZ live tune thing, the decorators, the pumping songs you usually hear at the beginning of a Project Diva song, Project Diva game. And that's what I want to achieve from that, is like, I want it to be like everyone enjoys this song, and it involves every one of the Kryptonoids in relatively equal measurements. I think I'll do another stream for this song later on in the process, when the instrumental is mostly there and I'm finally get some vocals for okay, what are they in the lineup? Let's look. Meiko, Len, Rin, Miku, Luca, and Kaito. Once I get them in, I can show you how I can do my vocal processing on Vocaloid specifically, because it's quite different to process my voices and process synth voices and process Vocaloid voices, because they're all different. They've all got their own different quirks. For example, my natural real life voice bank cracks a lot, so you have to think about that. And it's a great learning experience. Do I have a temporal name for the idea of song? Yes, it's going to be called Universal, because I think that's what I want to achieve from the song. I want it to be a universal song, liked across the board, just a good fun time dancing along in the crowd. And also, the concept of the song is like, what's the concept of the song? What are my lyrics? It's the universality of what voice I'm using. All of the Kryptonoids in kind of like a K-pop structure. So I have quite a lot of experience in writing K-pop, because that's a lot of the songs that are locked away. And with that, you have to think about balancing 6, 7, 8 members and making sure they've all got something to do in the song, but not in a way that's cluttered or disorganized. You want to keep the people's attention, mix it up every 4 to 8 bars in terms of what the melody's doing, in terms of who's singing, and sometimes mixing up the genre entirely within the song. That trend's dying off a little bit now in K-pop as it becomes more westernized, but the idea is still there. So the idea is like to balance out everything Like everyone gets their own little solo part, and they can do backings and harmonies and ad libs. So everyone, and they've still got interest, but everyone's involved in a way, because you know how things are with Miku songs and anything to do with the Krypton things. It's 90% Miku and 10% the rest of them. And I think, do you know what? I love Kaido too much to um, to abandon him without giving him one little diva note at the end or something. So yeah, that's what I want to achieve with it, and I hope it's one that people will enjoy and embrace, because it's entering a crowd that I've kind of dipped my toes in before. Well, this is the thing. Yeah, it takes practice trying to balance the 8 or 9 people. Often when you're making the songs, it's one vocalist doing each part. So when it comes to things, you've got a main vocal, you've got a double vocal, you've got a triple vocal, all singing the same thing, but the second and the third ones are different takes, but you pan them left and right to give that nice wide feel. Then you've got the harmonies, and you've got extra harmonies, and then you've got the chants and ad libs and rapping if you want it. So there's a lot going on, and then you kind of all got to process that all and then put it into the project and try to balance it out, and ride faders. It's all crazy. But yeah, what I'll do is later in the process is, once this is more patched up and more together, and when I eventually get to the vocals, I'll be like, okay, let's do this together. Let's experiment together about this. One thing I did for Miku's vocals is put it through Melodyne, which is a pitch correction software for vocals. And you may be thinking, pitch correction software for vocals? But Vocaloid voices are already pitch perfect. Why would you want to do that? I want to achieve the opposite of that. So one thing you can do, and hopefully I'll show you the next stream. I'm really bigging up this next stream that theoretically doesn't exist at the moment, and not bigging up the stream that's happening right now. But I'll show you how to kind of reverse pitch correction so you get more natural wobbles, which you have with the normal vocals. So it kind of like meets the middle of the Venn diagram of things. Cool. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, I want to show you this off. So this is just a little bit of ear candy. How much time do you tend to put into your songs? It feels like you. It depends. It depends on the song. There was, let's think. Well, technically, Pray to Me was 4 years, starting it in 2020, and then finishing up in 2023, and then releasing it in 2024. And then a song I finished last week took me a few days, because it depends on the structure and depends on how much work needs to go into it to make it sound good. If it's a simple structure, or if it's a simple structure, simple instrumentation, a lot of repeats, a lot of that, it doesn't take as much. But for things like this, where there is so much going on, you need the time. I can't promise. No, yeah, not fully working on it for 4 years. Dipping my toes in and out of it every year or so, thinking, what can I do with this? Can I do with this now? Because it was originally a song for me, and thank God I didn't do it. But basically I had to restart the entire song from scratch because all of the instrumentation was kind of outdated. So I had to stem out all of the stuff from the previous project, import it into a new project, pick the things out that I liked, and then built it from there to be what it is today. But yeah, it depends, because when you work on K-pop briefs, you've got a deadline to hit. And that's a good thing to work towards. Quite a lot of the music songs you can't really do because the deadline's a couple of days and no one works that fast. But if you got a good few weeks, is usually what I say for fully fleshed songs and with demo quality or good get into demo quality. Thank you very much. I can't promise. It's a lot of pressure to what's the word, live up to in terms of Pray to Me. But I have this song, I have another song that I'm going to redo the instrumental for again, but it's all pretty much there. And another song that I literally started the idea today, because it was one of those moments where I was just making a cup of tea and I was like, oh, I've got an idea. Go. To the microphone. So, yeah. And hopefully I'll find opportunities to collaborate as well, because obviously I can't do everything on my own. Can't do guitars at all. And one of the songs is very guitar-centric, so we'll see how that goes. But, one thing at a time. I say, balancing like 5 plates at once. So this is the right one, isn't it? No, it's an 8. Okay. Yeah, that looks a bit better. So this is another Fritz loop that I liked. That was also in the key, but I didn't know how to fit it into the song. It's also not quite the style of the song, because it's it's nice calm folky pop that's also stretched to be faster, so it kind of loses its thing. So I was thinking ear candy, something in the background to just kind of catch the attention every now and again. There's a little bit of sound design thing. So I use Digitalis. I use Digitalis on every single project without fail. Wind tempos, don't know if it's got anything to do with the Porter Robinson song of the same name, but I choose to believe it does. Let's go ahead and not blind you anymore. What this does is puts a nice like chop effect onto it, repeats bits like samples, and then reduces its frequency within that band, and also adds a little bit of a, well, you'll hear it. And there I go again. It's just cutting out the lows and the low mids and emphasizing this bit here so it's a little bit, I guess, stands out within the mix. So one thing I noticed when playing through was this kick wasn't doing enough. Kick. Because it's a kit. It's a drum kit, so it wouldn't have the same effect as like a properly like sampled kick drum that you'd have with an EDM, which is very obviously sub heavy. This is obviously based off a real kick drum that was recorded, so it doesn't have the same huft as that. Huft? Is that a word? Who cares? So what I'm going to do is add a extra layer to that. I've got some kick enhancer samples right here, and I'm just going to try and find the right one. Is that close? Ideally one in C sharp. Ideally one in C sharp. Please tell me I have one in C sharp. Come on. Man, I wish you could hear what I was hearing right now. It's absolutely awful. I've lost them all. Where have they gone? Oh. Am I losing my head? Okay, I'll come to that another time. But yeah, what I'm going to do is add a little bit of a sub KK enhancer, so it just gives it a little bit more oomph. It's fine within this area. Make it feel like a crowded scenario. So when I'm saying reduce, don't look at this. But this is, I guess, a good example of layering. So I have all of these risers and impacts and transitions to kind of add a nice textural feel to transition from one bit to the other. Transitions are very, very important, at least in the music that I make, because it glues, things together. And if it's a contrast between the two bits and it kind of stands out, it doesn't really work. Then, well, you know about it, and it doesn't sound great. So, I love transitions, and I love making sure that I've got good ones. Let's see how this sounds together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things going on there. It kind of all jams its way into one. It doesn't sound like 9 different things going on within the actual mix. So one way I've done that is to make sure this is the most important riser, because it's, your stereotypical noise riser you have within most things. This is just a little bit of an enhancer on that in terms of tone. I use the same one in Pray to Me. I've got 2 RP ones kind of panned left and right, so it has a similar effect to it, but they're not kind of competing for space. And then right down the middle is your straight vocal reverb riser, which is also going through a shimmer of reverb. Shimmer reverbs are gorgeous. Always love shimmer reverbs, because then what that does is the reverb tail lasts into the nice low-key chorus. It's a nice fade into it, and then sweep transition, because there's enough going on in terms of the noise riser here, so I didn't need something with a long beginning, but a nice long tail is perfect. And this is an impact, just a soft enough impact that I use at the beginning of the song as well. Oh, my space key has come out of its slot. Okay, there we go. It's like just a subtle one. Don't want it to be overpowering in this moment. And then this is a leftover from a previous transition that I had here, but I just switched it out. I thought it sounded so nice. I repeated it. Quadrice? Is that thing anything? Anyway. Just that little bit of a siren sound on the top really adds a nice little bit of a layer. On top of this, I'll add some a proper crash, so it's gets the nice impact on the beat one. But yeah, that's good. Example of how I layer things. Another example of how I layer things, and I'll probably do this next stream because it's already at 22 and I'm flagging. Is my lovely. Where is it? There it is. My lovely one-man choir sample pack. Have I got something in bang on in C# or have I? I do. That took me so long. So what I'm going to do is get individual notes from the soprano, alto, bass, tenor, and bass to create a vocal chord layer to accompany this piano, both within the pre-chorus, the chorus, and the bridge. Just as a layer, not as something separate. So when you're mixing things as layers, making sure you're mixing them as one. So, what was the point I was making? Making sure you mix them as one, rather than individual parts, because they're supposed to be treated as one within the actual song, and then things sound a lot more accurate once you mix it all together. So for that example, I'm going to mix the piano and then the one-man choir stuff together eventually. I'm not doing that tonight. It takes a long time, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Ooh, I used to do C sharp. C sharp's the ones they use in Unity, isn't it? I've done C sharp work before, and it helped me realise that maybe coding's not for me. I had a good time, but probably not again. So yeah, what that'll do is add a nice chord feel, makes it feel wider, makes it feel a bit more impactful. But I can't wait to show you off my process of that, because it's just gives you a whole another way of working with this pack, which I'll probably give away again at some point, maybe in the next one. See how I feel. Keep you guessing. I've kind of covered quite a lot of things, so I mean, ask your questions away. I'll try and keep working on stuff in the meantime. I haven't checked anything properly in a while, so just give me one moment. I desperately need a drink of tea. Oh my lord. What do you have at the end of the song? Or do you not have anything yet for the end? Ooh, good question. At the moment I have nothing, because oh god, there is no winning for this kick. Ah. So as you heard in a couple of bits of the chorus, it kind of says da 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 da. So I kind of wanted to wrap up in a similar way to, I guess, Tell Your World, where it kind of all just leads up to this one moment of whoosh, and then eventually I'll clean this up, all this reverb at the end. Let me just really quickly. So that if I just mute that, it'll end like that. I usually like doing those. I usually like ending on the fourth chord, the subdominant chord, with the main note at the end, because it kind of adds. It's finished, but not quite finished. It adds a little bit of intrigue, adds a little bit of fun. Oh, I'm so cheeky with my production. Actually, yeah. Do you know what? I think we're all friends here. I think we can all enjoy me trying to mumble something into a microphone, not quite on key, but it's helpful. So this is I kind of created the chords for this first, and then I kind of just mumbled into the microphone, did a bunch of takes, and these are the ones that I was a little bit more interested in, so amazing. da 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 Oh, so did not hear that note. Da 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 da. Universe alive. One bit that's really interesting about the one very interesting thing about mumbles is that quite often you kind of got a feel, well, for me at least, quite often you get a feel for the vowel sounds that you want in that bit. So my natural bit for the end bit, you know, universal love, you kind of hear what the instrumental is kind of bringing out in terms of the vowel bits for just little bits. It's not for the entire thing, but that helps you in the songwriting process to be like, okay, what has that vowel sound that's kind of related to the theme of it. So yeah, there's a little bit of mumbling, and then I already showed this bit. Universe, universal, universal love. Universe, universal, got that universal love. You just want to dance. Universe, universal, universal love. Oh, I just want to sing our lives over the top. Universal, got that universal love. Maybe I should show off a little bit of that. I mean, if it wasn't, you know, midnight on a Sunday, I'd probably be down for it. Screw it, who cares? So what I'm going to do really quickly is process these vocals. Universe, universal, universal love. Universe, universal, got that universal love. Universe, universal, universal love. Universe, universal, got that universal love. I just want to, oh. I just want to keep, you know, doing ad-libs over the top, which will be eventually sung a lot better by voice synthesizers. But hey, it's, you know, it's what this B chorus is supposed to do. It's supposed to hook you in and be like, yeah, let's keep going. Let's build it up for the final chorus. Then I do a quick switch out for 2 bars, and then boom, you're back into it. You know, that's what this bit is. Universal. So yeah, switch out and then boom, and then again it will be. Let's just copy this in. I hope that's right. Nope. Oh yeah, I forgot I only did it once. Whoops. Universe, universal, real professional. So I'm just going to cut this real quick, slam it to the front, and then we kind of have a little bit more of the structure. so much delay. So yeah, and that's one of the clear moments, that click moment where you realize you've got something cool in your hands, is where you just can't help but sing along, or do some fun riffs over the top. So that this bridge, there's gonna obviously the main line of universal, but that's kind of will go into the background as like the claps do and the cheering does. Again, it's just kind of the driving force of that kind of B chorus feel, but then there'll be ad libs from all six going over the top. Do you make your own guide vocals to follow with the Vocaloids? Yes. It depends on the song. Previously, I did just like a soul wave to outline the melody at first, and then put my vocals on top of it, or in some cases did the soul wave melody guide, then put it into Vocaloid and had the lyrics written down elsewhere. But nowadays, really, I just do a lot of this mumbling, and then I do a guide on top to kind of get the vibe. For Plaything, I did my own guide vocals to, kind of get the right nuances and areas, to try and get Miku to do the same thing as well. Pray to Me, I think, was just, Gumi's. We started off with I started tuning with I kind of knew what the style I wanted to be. But for Vocaloids, I definitely would want to do my own guide vocals, because then it kind of gives you more of an idea of what you want to create out of Vocaloid that it doesn't do naturally like Synth V does, because obviously Synth V is a whole different kettle of fish. Is that the saying? I don't know. But yeah, usually I do my own guide vocals for things. I really hope that answered the question. Even so, what was even flashing then? I don't even know. Everyone just calm down. Now I'm at a loss to what to talk about. I wish I had another song. I can't click that because there's things down there that are secret songs. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will absolutely, make quite a clear point about that stream, because obviously a lot of people hear about vocal synths and, are very interested in the vocal synth stuff, so they'll be almost certainly interested about how I both tune them and process them and everything, because Gumi was one hell of a thing. There was a lot of post-processing beyond the, synth V stage, the actual, main tuning stage that went on. A lot of mixing, a lot of vocal processing that I do in most of my songs, but, it really made the difference. It really transformed it. So, yeah, I definitely want to talk about that, because there's no point in hiding what my secrets are. It's just going to, make cool new songs from other people, and get more cool songs within the community. And that's exactly what we want. We're kind of in a Western producer renaissance at the moment, and I very gladly just stuck my hand up and being like, I want to be a part of that, please. Just slot myself in there, nice and subtle like. But yeah, that should be fun. I'll probably be working with Seuss on the vocals. They've been very helpful so far, because they just gave me a list of quirks, let's say it, with the English banks of each one. So I know what to do in terms of where to put them, what they can be used for, what lengths of things. For example, Rin and Len sound very alike, so if you want to make sure you have a definite Rin and a different Len, have them separated. But then, for example, if I wanted them to do the harmonies for this first bit, I can put them singing together and they'll sound very similar, which is kind of the style that I want, because then it'll kind of sit within the mix a little bit better. Do you play any instruments? It is so hard to imagine to be able to do instrumentals like this. It takes time. I think that's the one thing you need to understand, that this is years of experience, all piled into doing this, and you're doing it quickly and efficiently. That's years of experience, but you'd want to. If you enjoy the music process like I do, you'll just keep going and keep getting better, and you can see the progression of your musicality, your production, your songwriting. You'll see it, and you'll be very proud in yourself. But then you think, what's next for me? What's the next step? But instruments, I play alto saxophone and I sing. I've been doing both of those. I was in a choir for a long time during my secondary school years, like 11 to 12 is when I started stuff. Just kept singing, kept on playing the saxophone, dropped out doing the saxophone. See you, witches with glitches. See you around. I'll probably see you in the next one, won't I? It's a lot of bits here and there. I've got a theory under my belt. I've got all sorts under my belt. This it's used in different ways to enhance certain areas of the music production. You just have to do it. You got to learn, trial and error. You got to trust in yourself that you'll do a good job. If you're trying your best in that one moment, that's all you can do. That's all the world expects you to do, really. Oh my word, it is midnight. Okay, I'm going to stay around. I'm going to play this through a little bit of what I've got so far. Just once through again. And then, if you've got any more questions, final questions, please ask them now. If not, I'll just take a massive drink of tea and let the music play. Oh my god, no. Much better. Universal. Oh, I just want to sing it so bad. just shit goes crazy at the end. Do you know what? I'm very tempted to make this like either a semi-regular or a regular thing, if people are interested, because I have so much fun in making music, and it doesn't have to be the same project every single time. I have a few projects that I can show off publicly. I'd love to show off publicly. Get the feel for what people want and that kind of thing. I also just realized that Funkle Over You very kindly quote retweeted the stream. Was it 10 minutes ago? 12 minutes ago. And now I'm just gonna slowly wrap up. I can keep padding on for the next 15 minutes. If people are interested in listening in. But yeah, if you can remember any of the questions, ask them now. If not, just DM me on Twitter, add me on Discord, whatever, and I can answer them, in your free time. Don't you dare apologize. It's great. Thank you very much. You're very kind. I really appreciate it. Even though it's just super cool. So thank you very much. But yeah, DM me on Twitter. Find me on Discord. I'll answer your questions about music production. No worries, because everyone needs to learn, and and sharing is caring. Wonder what I can show off. Oh, do you know what? Screw it. I can show off one thing. I don't know if I still have it. Let me just give it 1 second. I have a instrumental, well, the original instrumental for a song that I'm going to redo, but for vocal synth. I wonder if I have the original one. Do you know what I do? I can download the original one with my vocals and be like, this is what it sounds like with me. Imagine what it sounds like with Lin Lai. Oh my word. Let me find it on my SoundCloud. Private songs. Where the hell is it? It better be still there, otherwise I'm screwed. So many great songs. So little time. One thing I'll do next time is put a compressor on this mic, because the amount of times I just mumble. It must be very, very annoying to try and just be like, huh? What? Speak up. Let's see if it downloaded. Okay. So this song is called Amoureux. It is probably one of the next songs that I'll be doing for vocal synth. This is the version is with my vocals, and it's also in a different key. It'll be pitched up and again completely reworked for Lin Lai. But hopefully it'll give you the idea of what to expect from the future. So loud.
Your name is stuck in my head like a melody. Your smile is sweeter than all of the honeybees. If you're the light in my life that I need, then oh, I better let the sun shine. Poems and stories can't even comprehend the omens and glory I feel when you hold my hand. Maybe, just maybe, we'll turn these pages of white into our story tonight. Give me love, give me hope, and promise me that we can walk and elope on the Paris streets like we're sailing on the sand. I can feel it once again that I am so amoureux with you. Ooh, ooh, oh yeah. I never knew that I could be the lucky one. I never knew that I'd write all your favorite songs. Now Now I feel like a rainbow, bright in the sun, soaring past the horizon.
I'm giving away way too much of this song. That's gonna be completely reworked. Again, it's gonna be pitched up. I think I'm gonna replace a couple of things, but yeah, that's a bit of a sneak peek, a little bit of a teaser. The last thing I'd say is a question to you guys. In terms of if I was going to do this semi-regularly or regularly, what day or time would suit you best? And please do remember that I am currently on British summertime, so there's gonna be a time that I can do, and not as like in 4 a.m. for me. But it'd be good to know, because I want to maximize the message that I'm gonna. I want to maximize the amount of people I can get in live to this. Also not ruin my sleep schedule for it. But yeah, just give me a bit of feedback, give me a bit of knowledge. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I mean, obviously, you've all shown up at this time, so it must be good for some people. As an American, tragically. Well, I'm British, so it's not exactly any better here. Okay, so, if it's like a Saturday or like a Friday, I can definitely do later. But obviously Sunday's a little bit. This is, again, just a little bit of impromptu, as you can see from the thumbnail. But, if it's something, people are interested in doing, I'll probably put up a poll after this, or, tomorrow when I wake up, asking for people's opinion about what to do with it. And obviously then it will give me something to work towards, as like my own like soft deadline to get things done for, this project, for other projects, so I can be like, hey, this is what I did. This sounds cool, doesn't it? Let me know what you think. Let's keep working on it. I was expecting to do a lot more work on this on this stream, but I just keep on getting sidetracked by all these cool things that and all the cool things you're saying, and the questions is great. But yeah, I think I'm. Came in for the thumbnail. Yeah, that was done. That went through 3 focus groups, and about £50,000 worth of investment, just to land on that thumbnail. It was worth every single bit of money and time invested. I might even keep it. Cool. I'm going to slowly wrap up now. Firstly, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for watching and listening and encouraging and being awesome as you typically are. I can't wait to see you again for the next one, whenever that will be. Last chance to send any questions through, but if you think of something outside of it, don't be afraid to DM me on my Twitter, and I'll try and get around to talking to you about it at some point. Just a little bits here, there, and there. Cool. I'm gonna wait for the chat to catch up real quick. I'm just gonna play my favourite bit on loop while it does, which is obviously this bridge bit. So many ideas, so little time. I don't know how much of there's a delay on this stream, so just give me 1 second. Not too bad. Okay, final time. been lovely being here. Lovely talking to you. Lovely just interacting in general. Any questions after this about music production? Either wait till the next stream, whenever that is, or if it's super urgent, you can just DM me on Twitter and be like, "Hey, help, please," and I'm glad to help. Thank you all very much for coming. Hope to see you next time. Signing off. I have no cool way of ending this. It's just awkward all the way down. Honestly, someone put me out of my misery and click the end stream button for me. Oh, it's terrible.